Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another episode of Books My Boyfriend Gave Me. Today we're going to be talking about A Storm of Swords by George R. Martin. This is book 3 in Song of Ice and Fire series, of course. This one I absolutely loved. 5 out of 5 stars. Wow, wow, wow. One of the best books I've ever read. Definitely a favorite this year. Spoiler-free summary really quick. So of course this is book 3, so this is going to give away some spoilers for the first 2 books. So if you haven't read the first 2 books yet, stop here, go read them, and then come back. Our opening chapters in A Storm of Swords is actually the end events of A Clash of Kings, but told in different points of views, kind of what happens elsewhere in this world when the end of Clash of Kings is happening. And I really enjoyed that they included a note from George R. R. Martin at the beginning of this book explaining that the chronology of these books aren't always that happens and this happens and this happens, and they use the beginning of this book as an example. He said the opening chapters here is actually the end of Clash of Kings, just in a different part of the world and from different points of views that we didn't get in A Clash of Kings. So I really appreciated that. Of the 5 contenders for power, 1 is dead and another is in disfavor, and still there's war. Joffrey sits on the Iron Throne. Lord Stannis is defeated and disgraced. Young Robb rules from the north. Daenerys, now an exiled queen, makes her way across the continent. Meanwhile, an army of wildlings and others are on their way to the wall. So much is happening. Like I said, I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. George R. R. Martin has an absolutely incredible way of weaving together all of the points of views into one cohesive story. And this is just unparalleled compared to anything I've ever read before. Other people do a good job at it, but when you put them up next to A Song of Ice and Fire, nothing can come close. This is many stories told in one series, but it all is the same story too. His character work is the best I've ever read. You know exactly who you're supposed to hate, who you're supposed to root for, and yet you still at times maybe feel a little bit bad for some of the bad guys. His storytelling, even when you know what's coming, it still shocks me. Like, I've seen the full TV series. I know there are major differences, which will kind of get you in a non-spoiler way in a minute. A lot of the major events that happened throughout this book, I knew were coming at some point, and it still shocked me. Speaking of differences, I will not say what happened because that'll give away spoilers, but the very end of this book completely blew me away. This is one of those big differences from the TV show and the book. What happens at the very end in the last like 2 or 3 pages of the book did not happen in the TV show. They held this out of the TV show. And so I was 100% shocked when I saw this happen, and y'all, that ending was just fire. So, like I said, 5 out of 5 stars to A Storm of Swords. I just got my library hold released today for A Feast for Crows, so I'm hoping to start that this week as soon as I finish up 1 or 2 of my other reads. But y'all, this series is definitely becoming a favorite series of mine, and I can't wait to see where George R. R. Martin takes this story next. If you've read A Song of Ice and Fire before, let me know in the comments below what you thought of A Storm of Swords. Were you as shocked as I was at the ending? Also, who's your favorite character up until now? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back.